Have you ever felt like you were doing everything right, but everything in your life was still going completely wrong? Have you ever been betrayed by the people you trusted the most? Left in the dark? Forgotten? We've all been in a place where our dreams felt like they were slipping through our fingers. But what if I told you that the darkest pit of your life was actually the foundation for your greatest palace? Today, we are going deep into one of the most incredible, jaw-dropping stories ever recorded in human history. It's a story found in the book of Genesis. It has jealousy, human trafficking, false accusations, a corrupt justice system, and the ultimate comeback. This is the story of Joseph, and by the end of this video, you are going to see your own struggles in a completely different light. Our story begins with a teenager named Joseph. He was 17 years old, the son of Jacob. Now, Jacob didn't exactly hide the fact that Joseph was his favorite child. To prove it, Jacob gave Joseph a gift, a lavish, beautifully woven coat. Imagine being one of Joseph's 10 older brothers. Every time Joseph walked into the room wearing that coat, it was a walking billboard of favoritism. But it gets worse. Joseph starts having dreams. Prophetic dreams. He dreams that his brothers' sheaves of wheat bow down to his heed. Dreams that the sun, moon, and 11 stars bow down to him. And, being a naive teenager, he tells his brothers all about it. Jealousy is a dangerous poison. It starts as a whisper, but it ends in destruction. One day, Joseph's father sends him out to check on his brothers. As they see him walking toward them, they see an opportunity. They say, "Here comes the dreamer. Let's kill him and throw him into one of these pits, and we'll see what comes of his dreams." They strip him of the coat. The very symbol of his father's love is torn from his back, and they throw him into a dry, dark cistern. Picture the terror. He's 17. He's pleading for his life, looking up at the circle of sky, hearing his own blood relatives eating lunch above. Instead of killing him, they decide to make a profit. They sell him as a slave to a caravan of Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver. Joseph is dragged to Egypt, far from home, stripped of his identity. He is sold to a man named Potiphar, the captain of Pharaoh's guard. But here is the magic of Joseph's character. He doesn't sit and cry. The Bible says, "The Lord was with Joseph, and he became a successful man." He works so hard, with so much integrity, that Potiphar eventually puts him in charge of his entire household. Things are looking up, but then a new problem arises. Potiphar's wife took notice. Day after day, she tries to seduce him. Day after day, Joseph refuses. One day, she grabs his cloak. Joseph does the only thing he can do. He runs. He leaves his garment in her hands and flees. How is he rewarded for his fierce integrity? Potiphar's wife frames him. Potiphar is furious, and Joseph is thrown into the king's prison. Put yourself in his shoes. You do the right thing, and your reward is a miserable dungeon. It would have been easy to become bitter, but he didn't. Even in the prison Joseph served. He was so trustworthy that the warden put him in charge of the other inmates. Joseph meets two former officials, the chief cupbearer and the chief baker. Both have disturbing dreams, and Joseph interprets them. Joseph tells the cupbearer he will be restored. He asks for one favor. "When things go well, remember me and get me out of this prison." The cupbearer gets his job back. And what does he do? He completely forgets about Joseph. 2 full years pass. 2 years of waiting in the dark, wondering if God had forgotten him too. But God hadn't forgotten. He was preparing the timing. One night, the Pharaoh has 2 terrifying dreams about 7 fat cows being eaten by 7 skinny cows. No one can figure it out. Suddenly, the cupbearer remembers the Hebrew kid. Joseph is shaved, given clean clothes, and brought before the most powerful man on earth. Joseph tells Pharaoh, "There will be 7 years of massive abundance, followed by 7 years of famine. You need to store food now." Pharaoh says, "There is no one so discerning and wise as you. You shall be in charge of my palace." In a single afternoon, Joseph goes from a forgotten prisoner to the prime minister of Egypt. He had spent 13 years in slavery for this moment. The famine hits hard, reaching all the way to Canaan. Jacob sends 10 of his sons to Egypt to buy grain. They walk into the palace and bow down. They have no idea that the powerful man on the throne is the little brother they threw into a pit. Joseph could have had them executed. Instead, he tests them and sees their remorse. Finally, he can't hold it in anymore. He looks at the men who ruined his youth and says, "I am Joseph. Is my father still living?" His brothers are terrified. But instead of revenge, Joseph offers them grace. He pulls them in and embraces them. He says, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives." I don't know what pit you are in today. Maybe you've been betrayed. Maybe you are stuck in a dungeon of debt or anxiety. But what if this isn't a dead end? What if this is preparation? If Joseph never goes to the pit, he never saves the world. Your pain is not without purpose. God can use those exact same things to position you for your destiny and elevate you to your palace. Don't let the bitterness of the pit blind you. Keep your integrity, keep your faith, because just like Joseph, your story isn't over yet. If this story gave you hope, hit like and subscribe. Leave a comment with the word purpose if you believe your struggles are preparing you.